The following program is an opinion program. The opinions expressed by the hosts and guests of this program are not the opinions of the management, staff, and advertisers of this station. Please direct all criticism, concern, and adulation to the hosts of this program.
Welcome to Alabama Politics. This week, I am Dale Jackson. I'm a radio talk show host. You can hear my shows Monday through Friday, 5 to 9 a.m. on WVNN in Huntsville and on Talk 99.5, 10 until noon, right there and everywhere. With me, as always, Mecca Music, CEO of 256 Today, Smart News for smart people. Is she smart enough to avoid the debt limit? I don't know. I don't know anything about that, so I guess maybe we'll talk about that here in just a bit. Jeff Poor will be with us, FM Talk 106.5. Down in Mobile. We'll talk with him about a bunch of stuff in Alabama. And I've got a wonderful parting shot for you as well. So let's go ahead and get right to it. Let's get to that 2-minute warning. The pageantry of an inauguration. How very exciting. I was down in Montgomery for this, and okay, it happened. So Kay Ivey and all the other statewide officials have been either inaugurated or re-inaugurated, and now it is about moving forward with the state and doing the state's business. What is the agenda moving forward? Now, I'd be lying to you if I told you that I listened to His Excellency, the Counter of Desks, Andrew Sorrell's speech as he was sworn in as auditor, but I did listen to the Lieutenant Governor, Will Ainsworth, and Kay Ivey, and they both talked about education. I think that's the agenda moving forward. Kay Ivey also issued an executive order talking about education. She has a very ambitious agenda to take us from 52nd out of 50 to like top 30 in 4 years. Good luck. Mecca, what is the agenda?
That's the agenda, and I think it's very, very bold, very progressive. And she said, she came out the gate, this is going to be our number one issue moving forward. This is the number one agenda item, and she has backed it up. Now, my question to you is, she did mention school choice, not only in the inauguration speech, which I have to say was fabulous. Mm-hmm. I think everything looked beautiful. Her stylist should get extra pay for that. She looked so good. But what do you think about the school choice option moving forward?
So I hear a lot about school choice coming from legislators. Will Ainsworth mentioned it as well. Kay Ivey did, and in her executive order as well. When it wasn't about Dolly Parton, school choice was kind of mentioned in there as well. Not enough for me, but here's the thing I see. I think we're getting a little bit of a rope-a-dope. That's what I think. I think the word school choice is being used, and then you immediately see the word charter school afterwards. Mm-hmm. School choice is 2 words, by the way, so maybe I need some help. But school choice, and then they go to charter school, and I think that they're viewing charter schools as school choice. But I don't think the constituents view charter schools as school choice. It's another public school. It's not necessarily something where vouchers would be in play or something like that. So I think it's a canard.
That is a little different, but going back to the Dolly Parton issue, you're talking about the Imagination Library, which is such a fantastic program. I'm so excited that Alabama will be participating in it.
Yeah, I think it's good. I have a 4-year-old who's very excited by books. He's also very excited by butterflies. So, but at the same time,
one of the hindrances to early childhood literacy is access to books.
Right.
So building that home library is so important.
Yeah, and hopefully the parents who are not reading to their kids will see these books and say, okay, we're going to take care of it. Now, they can't ask for them to stop, which seems like a very odd thing to do. I mean, maybe that might be like a database.
You mean like they can opt out?
Yeah, I opt out of these free books. I don't want my kid reading them words. I don't see that happening too much. But like I said, if someone does, maybe they should put them on a list or something. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about the debt limit. Is this where they get us? Apparently it is. I've talked to so many people that think that this debt limit is the beginning of the end, just like it was last time. And the time before that, and I think it's like 78 times before that. I don't know, we have a debt limit. Might as well just get rid of it if we're just going to continue moving it, because it's not really a limit. I know when my wife maxes out the credit cards, and I say, hey, you can start paying this back, and she's like, just extend my limit. What's the problem? I'll start working on it later. It doesn't work in that situation, and it doesn't work here. By the way, my wife does not do any of that.
So for the record, Cindy would never. If anybody in the house does this, it would be you.
Yeah, you're probably right about 100%. That. But the point is this. They're here talking about this. It's the end. It's the full faith and credit of the United States. But you have one side saying, okay, let's extend it just can we chill on the spending? The other side says,
Right.
no conditions. Both of them want to extend it. Both of them want
No
to do
negotiating.
Yeah, both.
It was what came back.
Yeah, both want to extend it. Both want to spend more than we have. And they're both fine with it. Only one side wants to do it slightly slower. Okay? I mean, it's almost like Hunter Biden likes crack the same way I like drinking. One is significantly worse for us. And I think that we need to focus on what the real issue is here. If we're going to extend the debt limit, then let's actually treat it like a debt limit. If not, just get rid of it. Why worry about this stuff all the time?
Well, I thought Carl, speaking to Yaffe, actually had some very good remarks about that. Congressman Carl from Mobile was talking about, we'd like to flatline the budget. We would like, these are things that we would like to work towards. And, to him, it seems like that's something that both sides would want to work on.
Or slightly limit GDP growth, or not limit GDP growth, but slightly limit the increase we'll do each year below what the GDP growth is.
Make the cuts to...
There is no serious conversation about getting our act together here. None. So I'm of two minds. I kind of want to see it happen, knowing it's going to be chaos and very, very bad. And at the same time, I kind of want just to do away with the thing. If we're going to go nuts, let's go nuts. And let's just see what happens. This is not a good situation. No. But they have till June. So about May 23rd, I'm sure they'll get on top of this thing.
Exactly, exactly. And that's what Carl had said as well, is that they, everybody's frustrated because you kind of wait.
This will be a story. So this weekend, we'll be able to see on all the shows, we'll be like, how come the Republicans won't just extend it? What's going on with them? And then they'll ask the Republicans, why don't you just extend this thing? What's wrong with you? So and we'll move on after this.
That'll be fun.
All right, let's talk about committees. Everyone very excited about their committees, and I think they should be very excited about this. You have Robert Aderholt chairing a very important subcommittee that will oversee the second biggest budgetary line item outside of the Defense Department. Jerry Carl on that committee in the House as well. You are seeing Dale Strong in North Alabama. I can't remember all the ones he's on. The Science and Space, House Armed Services, Homeland Security. Hold on a second, I do remember.
Sorry.
House Armed Services Committee. Mike Rogers is on that one as well. And I know I'm leaving out a whole bunch of people are going to be very upset about that. Katie Britt, all these people getting these committees. Alabama is really situating themselves in a pretty good situation. House Armed Services Committee got the chairman, and you've got the and you got someone else on the committee. On these other committees, you've got sub-chairs and people on the committee. We're overrepresented. I mean, we really are. And,
I wouldn't say that.
No, we are. We are overrepresented.
No.
We are overrepresented. It's a good thing.
Oh, it's a great thing.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed with our lawmakers, especially Strong as a freshman to get these assignments is, and I asked him about it. I spoke to him and I asked him about that. And of course, he put it all in North Alabama. People know what we do here. The propulsion capital of the world. Everything that happens here, he gave all the credit to that. But obviously, he's doing a good job there.
Well, he's 3 for 3. I mean, the
those
big
were his
three
top
that's
three.
been announced. Yeah, he got them. And like I said, it's very important to what's going on. And it's always good to have somebody in the majority party at the table. And on some of these committees, you got 2 people in the majority party at the table on those committees. And it's just great. I mean, if you're talking about Rucker or Anniston or Redstone and all the other things in between, there are so many military things associated here. The border issue, we talked about Homeland Security, which deals with the security of the homeland. And those guys, that's a #1 issue that people are talking about with the border and stuff like that. So just good stuff all the way around. I know we left out a lot of people.
NASA marshals for the space today.
Right, all these things, just very, very important. I know we left out some members in the House, but these are the big ones right now, and I'm sure I'm going to get an email based on that.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right, so let's move on and talk about Joe Biden. Why is he so bad at this? He's been in government forever. You would think that they'd be able to talk about this, but man, you want to talk about some people that kind of look out to the press and go, I thought we were on the same side. And then the press looks at them up and they go, I thought we were on the same side. And now here they are pretty upset. You are seeing a rebellion in the press. They went from attack dogs against Donald Trump to lapdogs with Joe Biden. Then they stopped feeding him, and now they're biting them. I mean, this is just a crazy situation where the media is on full-blown attack against Joe Biden.
It was called a crisis in the national media, which was impressed.
Pretty soon they're going to put a gate at the end of it, and then we'll have a real scandal here. But look, they've tried their best to help them in the beginning of this. I mean, I'm sorry, the national media bias, blah, 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 all that stuff. We can talk about that. But that's over. They've turned on him. I mean, they literally have turned on him. They've turned on him so bad that there is a lot of people openly saying that the Democratic Party it's coming from inside the House. I mean, you even had Doug Jones, our former junior senator, saying, look, when this blank happens, y'all got to get it together. I mean, there open criticism against a sitting United States president when he's trying to decide whether or not to run for re-election. They're trying to push him out. That's what they're trying to do. And they're now ripping Merrick Garland as well. So good thing we put him on the Supreme Court, right, guys?
For me, I would say there's so many unanswered questions that could be easily answered or should be easily answered, but they have refused to do so. Like, we still don't even know how many documents there are out there, have been found. What's in the documents? Why did it take so long for the White House to say that these documents were discovered?
Politics. I know that's the simple answer, but the biggest thing that happened this week, in my opinion, was the revelation that the DOJ was like, maybe because of what we did at Mar-a-Lago, maybe we should do something similar over here. But do you guys promise if you find something, you'll tell us about it? Like, we pinky promise. Like, all right, you go ahead and you do that. That was a huge mistake by the Department of Justice because it taints everything. Because, I mean, look, if I found rolled up nuclear codes with cocaine residue on it inside Hunter Biden's crack house, Joe Biden's beach house, would I turn that over? Would I turn that over? I mean, no, you wouldn't. So, I mean, sorry, that's what common sense says. But not to say maybe somebody there was like, no, I'm super honest. I pinky promise. I'll go ahead and I'll do this. But now we get to ask that question, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that there's a huge issue there. Mecca doesn't like the references to cocaine. So I apologize, Mecca, for that. Let's move on. Jeff Port will be with us here in just a bit. We'll talk to him. Probably not about that, but stay tuned. More coming up on Alabama Politics this week.
You work hard to earn little escapes because doing your best means being your best. So let us help you discover your best at Premier Dental Spa. With our unique blend of cosmetic, dental, and spa-like aesthetic services, you'll leave feeling relaxed, refreshed, and renewed. Make sure the best you is here to stay and book your appointment online today at premierdentalspa.com.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my friends at University Kia. Now look, I love Kias. I've driven plenty of them. I used to have a Kia Sportage. When my son was born, my wife said, no, we got to get ourselves one of these big SUVs. The Telluride from University Kia is an absolutely amazing vehicle. You get it at a great price, but you get everything at University Kia at a great price. Learn more about them today. Head on over to universitykia.com. Find the perfect vehicle for you, new and pre-owned. They got it for you. universitykia.com.
Disability benefits but were denied by the Social Security Administration? Or do you need to apply for benefits and are overwhelmed with paperwork? Are you between the ages of 50 to 63 and can no longer work because of an illness or injury? Thousands of hardworking Americans are in your situation. They file for disability benefits every month and are unnecessarily denied their much-needed benefit check. Call now for a no-obligation, free evaluation. We can help you nearly double your chances of approval and get your benefit checks faster. We understand the physical, emotional, and financial impact and will share our insider expertise. There is a time limit to apply. We're here to help you get your disability claim filed and paid as soon as possible. Please, time is limited. So, if you are between the ages of 50 to 63 and can no longer work because of an illness or injury, call right now and let us help you file your disability claim with the Social Security Administration.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here, and this is my son, Grant. Now, I'm here to talk to you about Top Shelf Customized Cleaning. He's a handful, I'm a handful, and if I want to stay married, I need Top Shelf Customized Cleaning to come and take care of my house. They do an amazing job for me, and they'll do an amazing job for you. Cindy loves them. I love them. Grant loves them as well. Check them out on Facebook. Top Shelf Customized Cleaning. And don't forget, call them today, 256-417-9122. And when you talk to them, make sure you tell them Grant sent you.
Want fun, safe, intelligent fitness programming? Want to build muscular strength, cardiovascular endurance, drastically improve range of motion and mobility, and learn proper nutrition to fuel your life with energy and emotional health? Well, come find out why Iron Tribe Fitness is ranked one of the top 5 fitness programs in America. Come find out why personal training and intentionally working on your current movement patterns individually is not only important, it's just another core value that separates Iron Tribe Fitness from other fitness facilities.
To learn how to get your 2-week free pass, go to irontribefitness.com.
Welcome back to Alabama Politics This Week. I am Dale Jackson. With me, as always, Mecca Music. Our guest, Jeff Poor, FM Talk 106.5 down in Mobile, 1819 News, Breitbart, Lagniappe. Just Google him. He's everywhere. Jeff, thank you very much for joining us. Mecca and I were talking before about the inauguration, about how education seems to be the main talking point. Lieutenant Governor Ainsworth talked about it. Kay Ivey talked about it. I've noticed, and I want to see if you noticed this as well, they like to use the phrase school choice, and then within like 5 words after that, they say charter schools. And I think the charter school mention supplants the school choice mention as I see school choice, vouchers, stuff like that. Am I wrong?
It's not this, yeah, they're trying to conflate the two, right? So I think it just puts them in a tough place. People want school choice, but we're going to kind of give you school choice, but it's not what you think school choice is exactly.
But technically, that definition could cover it. I mean, right? It's a charter school.
But it's not what the masses are clamoring for. This is just a way around it, I think, to give kind of a talking point some attention.
Yeah, I think. Tell me if I'm wrong here, Jeff. I think what it's about is knowing what's coming down the pipe. I think that they're looking ahead, and they know that the AEA has said, okay, we see what's happening across this country and all around us. We need to offer up something. What if we give you this nugget and we say we call this school choice and we pretend that's what it is? Is it that simple?
Are you saying a deal's been made?
I'm suggesting there was a smoke-filled room where everyone sat around and this is what they came up with. Jeff?
I don't even think it's that. It's like, I think they're sitting around thinking, oh, they want school choice. Well, we don't really want to give it to them. How do we get past this problem? And we'll just call it school choice, and we'll throw in the charter school, and that way we keep our masters at the AEA happy.
Yeah, I think that's probably where we are going. Will the people, I'm not going to say rebel because we're 4 years away from another election, will the people be satiated by this?
Probably. I don't know where the push is coming from for school choice except from Dale Jackson and some newspaper editors who really wants it. And I'm not saying anybody's against it. I'm saying it's people probably polling. They probably say, yeah, I'm probably for school choice. But, I mean, it just takes more than just I'm probably for it. It takes kind of a movement. It's just not there yet.
And Jeff, we've talked about this previously on the show, that it's not really a passion issue for many voters. It doesn't mean people don't support it, but it's just not their number one issue. So until something like that happens, do you see any progress being made for the Dale Jacksons of the world who fully support school choice?
No, and what I think it's going to take is just like people caring more about education in the state. We're told we need to care. We're told that it's important. We're told that the schools are lackluster. But no one's really showing up at the State House with torches and pitchforks. None of that's happening. I just think there's a complacency there, and until you get to a place where people have more emotional investment, I don't think you see like a big school choice push.
You talk about those pitchforks and stuff like that. You got to remember this: if they did something like school choice, the AEA will show up with pitchforks. And they will show up with torches, and they know that. The lawmakers know that, and I think that's a big part of it. I want to ask this question, though, since you brought up Dale Jackson, one of my favorite subjects. There was a point in time when there was only one guy out there talking about ending vaccine mandates in this state and who single-handedly willed it into existence. Who was that?
It wasn't just Dale Jackson. What Dale Jackson told us all we needed to wear masks, though, too?
Way early on. That is correct. That's a good response. But let's just be real. The fight was on, and there was a push here, and I was out there.
Yeah, but he's also telling us to vote for Mo Brooks and Bradley Byrd. We could go through the Dale Jackson graveyard of political celebrities.
Okay, that's fair. We all can't kill the I-10 bridge like Jeff Poor does single-handedly from North Alabama. Okay, fine. We'll give you that one.
I love how this has progressed, by the way. Thank you, Jeff. I very much enjoyed this.
If you talk to lawmakers, they'll tell you that Dale Jackson and Jeff Poor have an outsized influence in this state, and I don't know why Jeff is playing down his power.
Well, they complained about it. So BCA lobbyists said that we were pushing this vaccine mandate exemption because people are listening to talk radio too much. Our lawmakers are listening to talk radio hosts too much, which is completely absurd, but that's what they think.
We were radicalizing them. All right, let's move past this for a second. You're a much better observer of national politics than I am, Jeff. Your Breitbart position gives you that opportunity to see both where the trends are going and everything like that. It seems to me that Alabama is doing very good on their committee assignments. Multiple people on the Appropriations Committee, multiple people on the House Armed Services Committee. These are things that, including a chair, these are very good positions. Is Alabama out kicking its coverage here when it comes to committees in the United States House?
Probably just because you have some seniority there that knows how to navigate things. And also, you know what really helps is having a unified delegation. A lot of states don't have that. You have Democrats, you have Republicans. But if you have one party, particularly if the one party is Republican, it helps. I mean, it helps because they know the ways around and they work together sort of in concert. And I think that's what you're seeing this time around a lot with some of the younger members, Jerry Carl, Barry Moore, and Del Strong to be in particular.
I think it's interesting. You mentioned that the unified delegation and all this other stuff. You also mentioned seniority. You talk to a lot of people, and the first thing they want to talk about is term limits. Well, I would suggest that Robert Adderholt and Mike Rogers, the SmackDown from Sacktown, Mike Rogers, he in Adderholt's seniority is a valuable weapon.
Absolutely.
Here, correct?
Yeah, and think about Adderholt. I mean, he took over for Tom Bevel, who was in the House forever and ever and ever. I mean, there's sort of a legacy here of Old South sort of ism in Washington, D.C. that lends itself to this tradition of working your way up on these committees. I mean, the same is true for Shelby, obviously, on the Senate side. But this is what we sort of do in these southern states.
Okay, you mentioned the Senate. Let me ask you this. Can you say anything about where Tuberville and Katie Britt are? Is there anything spectacular about what they've got going on?
I would say I think we're in a better place than we probably thought we would be with Tommy Tuberville. He seems to kind of play the game. He gets along with McConnell. I mean, you don't get the sense. I mean, for a while it was Jeff Sessions and Richard Shelby, and Jeff Sessions was kind of the rogue element, even though he got along. And Shelby was to get along. Now, when they had two get-alongs to get along members of the Senate. So I think there's something to that, more so than we've ever had. Probably since, I don't know, maybe Hal Heflin or something.
How much of that is people walking in on Monday after college football game and going, Coach, did you see blah, 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 and him being able to talk to them about that kind of stuff? How much do you think that helps him?
I mean, he is kind of one of the more celebrity-type guys. I don't know that is it. I think we expected him to be more of maybe closer to Mo Brooks or something when he ran on the campaign, but he's turned out to be more in the mold of the Shelby get-along caucus.
So wait, talking about celebrity, we've been talking about how Katie Britt has been tapped to be kind of a rising star in the Republican Party on a national stage. Do you see her shine maybe eventually eclipsing Tuberville's?
Oh, yeah, I think so. I think she's in the Senate much longer. I think you're preparing her for that. You're starting to see these interviews, around these different media outlets, Fox News in particular. Just how many feature pieces have they done on Katie Britt this early going? So I think they're trying to set her up to be more of I don't say national celebrity, but more of a national figure in some ways than just an Alabama figure.
I think we'll know when she starts showing up on middays on Fox News. I mean, when that starts happening, then that's when you know that she's sort of a go-to for them, and I think that boosts her profile pretty significantly. Jeff Poor, FM Talk 106.5 down there in Mobile, Breitbart Laniap, and 1819 News as well. Thank you very much for being here. Mecca's on her way out. Thank God. The show gets a lot better. Stay tuned for that. Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my friends at University Kia. Now look, I love Kias. I've driven plenty of them. I used to have a Kia Sportage. When my son was born, my wife said, no, we got to get ourselves one of these big SUVs. The Telluride from University Kia is an absolutely amazing vehicle. You get it at a great price, but you get everything at University Kia at a great price. Learn more about them today. Head on over to universitykia.com. Find the perfect vehicle for you, new and pre-owned. They got it for you. universitykia.com.
Here's a great way to save money on your prescription medications. If you take Viagra or Cialis, we can give you a way to pay as little as $2 a pill. Compare that to prices as high as $60 per tablet. Call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. We offer 24/7 service and always free delivery and confidential packaging. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free discreet shipping.
You work hard to earn little escapes because doing your best means being your best. So let us help you discover your best at Premier Dental Spa. With our unique blend of cosmetic, dental, and spa-like aesthetic services, you'll leave feeling relaxed, refreshed, and renewed. Make sure the best you is here to stay and book your appointment online today at premierdentalspa.com.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here, and this is my son, Grant. Now, I'm here to talk to you about Top Shelf Customized Cleaning. He's a handful, I'm a handful, and if I want to stay married, I need Top Shelf Customized Cleaning to come and take care of my house. They do an amazing job for me, and they'll do an amazing job for you. Cindy loves them, I love them, Grant loves them as well. Check them out on Facebook, Top Shelf Customized Cleaning. And don't forget, call them today, 256-417-9122. And when you talk to them, make sure you tell them Grant sent you.
Want fun, safe, intelligent fitness programming? Want to build muscular strength, cardiovascular endurance, drastically improve range of motion and mobility, and learn proper nutrition to fuel your life with energy and emotional health? Well, come find out why Iron Tribe Fitness is ranked one of the top 5 fitness programs in America. Come find out why personal training and intentionally working on your current movement patterns individually is not only important, it's just another core value that separates Iron Tribe Fitness from other fitness facilities.
To learn how to get your 2-week free pass, go to irontribefitness.com.
Welcome back to Alabama Politics. This week, I am Dale Jackson. Thank you for being here. Before I get into that party shot, let me remind you about YellowHammerNews.com and the 7 things you should be talking about today. Every single day, Monday through Friday, you get the 7 things you should be talking about today delivered directly to your email inbox. It's also up there at YellowHammerNews.com, as are my Yellowhammer Now videos and all sorts of other stuff, including this show. Alabama Politics This Week is up there at YellowHammerNews.com as well. But right now, let's go ahead and get to the party chat. All right, folks, I want to talk sports for a second. My party shot here this week is directed at the NHL. We have seen something really, really silly here. You have seen a player for the Philadelphia Flyers say, look, I don't want to participate in this Pride Night stuff. I mean, I'm not going to say anything negative or do anything crazy. I just don't want to put the jersey on, so I'm not going to come out for warm-ups. That started a little bit of a firestorm, including on the NHL Network, which is a thing. I know, I didn't know either, but apparently it's run by the league, and they had a coach on there suggesting that this player who was Russian-born leave America and go fight Russia, or excuse me, go fight for Russia in Ukraine. A totally crazy thing that you just could not imagine happening in any other situation. I'm not here to tell you that people did not suggest the similar nasty things about Colin Kaepernick, but see, they were wrong to do so. It's okay to criticize this guy. It's not okay to tell immigrants you better get out of this country for disagreeing with us. A wild, wild thing, and you're seeing a lot of that based on what he has said here. Again, he wasn't being nasty, he didn't do anything. He just asked not to have to participate, and they said yes. But the sports media has done what sports media has done all along. They've gone insanely liberal and just gone on the absolute attack. There's been calls for him to be fired, suspended, the team to be fined $1 million. And keep in mind, all he said is, I don't want to participate in this. He wasn't disruptive. He didn't say anything. He had to answer questions about it, and he didn't want to do that. I think it's okay to say no. And somebody brought this up, and I think it's important. What if it was Military Appreciation Night, and someone had said they didn't want to wear that jersey? Well, I think that people would criticize them as well, and then that would be it, because it's completely okay to make that decision and then be criticized for it. Saying get out of the country and go fight for Russia and Ukraine, that's a little beyond. Let's not be so ridiculous here. It's okay to disagree with each other. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for watching and listening all over the state of Alabama. And we'll be back on Alabama Politics This Week next week.